to Unreality Zone Fun and Games. I am Mike Substelny, your game master tonight. This game session features Neela Bright, Darren Bright, Ella Schur, and Phil Gregory, with live editing by Doug Reichard. Currently, we are playing a campaign of Modiphius Entertainment's Star Trek Adventures. Our campaign is called Empires in Embers. The setting is Deep Space Nine, about 2 years after the Dominion War. Previously on Empires in Embers. On a mission to set the history books straight, our intrepid heroes uncovered acts of unforgivable dishonor by the Klingon House Kroba. The house was subsequently expelled from the Klingon High Council, and news services all over the galaxy showed the head of the house, Kroba himself, waving his fist and swearing vengeance against Vita. Later, while celebrating at Quark's, our intrepid characters uncovered some clues about nefarious events that might be unfolding in the Dominion. The crew has just returned from their training/cruise vacation, which ended up being a science mission to the Selkundi Drema system. We pick up as the crew docks at Deep Space Nine in tonight's episode, Ace in the Wormhole. Roll credits. Okay, just before your ship docks at Deep Space Nine, you get a coded confidential transmission to your ship that is addressed to Vita from Starfleet Command. So whoever's at con, incoming coded transmission for Vita. Where would you want to take it?
I'll take it in my ready room.
Okay. We haven't really discussed much about the layout of Starship 11. We'll assume you have some kind of ready room on Starship 11.
They all have ready rooms.
Something we kind of didn't discuss before, that Dracon is actually proud of the fact that, unlike Jem'Hadar ships, Vorta ships actually have chairs in them. There is nowhere to sit in a Jem'Hadar ship, but there are chairs and staterooms and bunks and all those creature comforts in a Vorta ship. So let's say you've got a ready room and you can go into that room like any Vorta would, and have a private subspace conversation. So it is a Starfleet admiral that everybody probably should know. There was a character on Next Generation who was a captain. He's now an admiral. It is Admiral Jellicoe who is calling you from Starfleet Command. It says, Commander Vita, before you get to Deep Space Nine, I have an important message for you. This is for Starfleet eyes only. None of your Bajorans are to know anything about this message. Is that understood?
Understood. Please proceed.
Your Starfleet crew who is not Bajoran, they're cleared to know all about this. But no Bajoran can know about this. All right. The Dominion is sending an ambassador to the Federation. The ambassador is a shapeshifter. Her trip has been delayed for months now, ever since Luoxana Troy was elected president of the Federation. And it's because the shapeshifters, the changelings, have decided that their ambassador should be introduced to the new president of the Federation by Odo. Odo had a relationship with the president of the Federation, but Odo refuses to pass through the wormhole and visit Deep Space Nine until after Kira has retired. This is Kira's retirement day, so you are not to let her know, and don't let any Bajoran who might clue her in know that as soon as she leaves the station, Odo is coming.
Okay, not a problem.
Odo does not want her to know. The whole thing is off if he sees Kira on this trip.
Understood.
He really never wanted to come back to the Federation, but the founders are insisting on it because he does know the new president of the Federation extremely well. They were actually married at one point. Yeah, there was an episode where Luoxana Troy and Odo got married.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was to get Michael Ansara's character to leave Luoxana alone.
Oh, wait. Okay. I think I remember that.
Yeah, who he also played Kang. Same actor. All right, so there were several episodes of Odo and Luoxana together. So Odo and Luoxana are a thing. And since we decided she's the president, there's no getting around the fact that the founders are going to make him go to Earth. He just insisted on waiting until Kira was safely away before doing it. So you can tell your Starfleet officers about it, but don't tell Jal, don't tell Kira, don't tell any of the Bajorans who might tell Kira, or Odo won't come and the whole mission is off.
Well, I think probably if you were in agreement with me, Admiral, it's really a need-to-know basis anyways.
Yeah. Everybody on Deep Space Nine is going to know when Odo gets there. He just wants Kira to be gone. It's going to be a very brief visit to Deep Space Nine. They're sending a Dominion battleship, possibly escorted by a few Jem'Hadar fighters, that's going to bring Odo to Deep Space Nine. All right. And tomorrow, this is Kira's last day on the job. You're going to dock, and Kira's going to hand over the reins to you, and then Kira is gone. At least that's the plan, if everything goes according to plan. So your job is to make sure that all happens.
Okay.
Are we clear?
We're clear.
All right.
Okay.
Then Jellicoe out.
All right.
You guys
Well,
remember what Jellicoe looks like?
no, I'm looking him up.
I think so. Was he When Picard had to go undercover.
Yeah, there are 4 lights.
Yeah. Okay.
Jellicoe was a really by the book commander, and when Picard
made Troy wear the uniform.
when Picard got the Enterprise back, Jellicoe said, "Well, I'm giving her back to her a little better than you left her."
Yeah, I remember him from the DS9 episode.
Yeah, I don't know if Jellicoe was ever in DS9.
Is this the same Jellicoe that was placed
Generation
in charge of Enterprise D?
Yeah.
He ran Enterprise D while Picard was a Cardassian prisoner. It was a 2-parter.
He's the guy who annoyed everybody until they almost rebelled.
He was very officious and annoying, so you just knew he was going to get promoted to Admiral eventually, and now he is.
Was the name of the episode Chain of Command?
Yes, part 1 and 2. You got it.
Yes.
So currently this officious jerk is kind of the Starfleet flag officer in the sector where you are. So you may get orders from him now and then. So he's sending this official message to you. And now I think you are ready to dock at Deep Space Nine. And we saw that last week. You get to Deep Space Nine and you see the spaceship belonging to Basai Mistress. So Droff knows that one of his wives is visiting the station because she's lead singer for Basai Mistress, a very popular pop music group. And their tour bus is docked at Deep Space Nine as you arrive. And there may be some fans there. Okay, so you guys are now docked. You're disembarking. You can go to your quarters, and in the morning, you're going to get your final meeting with Colonel Kira.
Woo.
She's going to ask to see your official reports on your mission to Selkundi Drama. She's sorry you didn't get as much of a vacation as you hoped you would get on Wrigley's Pleasure Planet. But in the morning, it will be time. So tell me if anybody's doing anything. Anybody gonna go to Quark's and get drunk, or?
Well, I pull Manny aside and make sure that she has secured the blood wine that we got,
Yes.
and that the one case goes to our previous commitments, and the other 3 cases
Go to Bahel.
Yeah. Well, the one case goes to hell.
Yeah, one case goes to Bahel.
The other 3 cases, I think we should hold for further enticements.
Okay.
Are you going to take them straight to Bahel?
I was thinking about it.
Bahel. You could do that if you want to take them down there.
I do want to take him down there right away.
All right. You saw that they're very, very busy at Kanmaj Garage. They're working on Klingon ships round the clock, and when you get down there to his office, he's in a pretty good mood. He's yelling at his mechanics and giving a lot of orders, but boy, he's never been this busy in his life. And he sees you coming, and he sees you carrying a case, and he says, "Money, what do you have for me there?"
Only the finest blood wine.
He looks at the label. He says, "My, if this is real, that is fine blood wine." He opens it up, inspects a bottle. This looks legit. What's the Klingon word for legit? Whatever it is, that's what he says. He pops the top off and takes a sip. I'm working now, so only 3 sips. This is fine blood wine. How did you secure this?
That is a secret that is going to remain with me until it's going to remain with me. It's mine for me to know and you never to find out.
Well, fair enough. The wine is mine now, so tell Vita her debt to me has been canceled.
Will do.
But also, kind of the subtext of this conversation also is you don't have a PC engineer this week. So if you need an engineer, you may have to call him.
Okay.
All right. So you have left Starship 11. And as far as I know, your Vorta engineer doesn't have quarters assigned to him on Deep Space Nine yet. So he's living on Starship 11 still. So that may be something to deal with sometime in the future.
What, do I have to find him quarters?
No. Well, actually, you know whose job that is?
Whose job is it?
The quartermaster. You have
Ah.
one of those now. But she's not here this week either.
Well, since they're both not here this week, then.
Okay, well, you got off the ship, and so now you've done your thing. Anyone else want to do anything before you retire for the night back to your quarters on Deep Space Nine? Droff, you've got a wife to see. She will probably seek you out. I can't hear you.
No, I have reports to write. I have to write reports on this entity that we encountered and the life cycle and how it communicates. I got lots of stuff to do.
You do have lots of stuff to do.
Oh, and the Klingon. The Klingon word you're looking for that means legitimate or honorable, it would be batla.
All right. Vatla.
What's so silly about the word bottle?
Thank you for that research.
Honorable.
Okay, so the next morning.
Droff's wife is going to let him write reports.
Actually, yes.
I have many wives.
Droff's wife is at Quarks, mobbed by fans right now, and she's not lacking for fun and company for the evening. But she may be expecting to retire to your quarters. If the door is locked, she'll end up going back to the tour bus for the night. So her name
the door's not locked, but you know.
All right. So Frexy gets to come to your quarters. So she will definitely show up after you do. You are probably sacked out and done writing reports by the time she shows up from partying at Quarks, literally like a rock star.
Okay.
Anybody else? What you do for the evening?
I don't know I don't know if you really need any details on how Giraffe does not get laid, but
Wait, how does Giraffe not get laid?
He's a scientist writing reports. Figure it out.
I think Professor Giraffe may need to move upstairs where there's less audience interference.
As a scientist, the way Droff doesn't get laid is hypothetically. Okay, so.
All right.
That leaves Vita. Are you doing anything before you turn in while the last night while Kira is still in charge of Deep Space Nine?
Well, I actually, unfortunately, I still haven't sat down and written the letter to I'm forgetting his name. How can I forget his name? He sacrificed himself for us.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to write a letter to his
Brannigan.
parents, Brannigan's parents,
Martin Brannigan.
explaining, that he's missing in action, and yes,
Okay. Remember, he was cloned. Like, his next of kin is basically Admiral Layton, who's in prison.
oh, okay. I don't need to write a letter to Admiral Layton. Does he have any close friends I need to write a letter to?
He probably does. And they're probably in prison too.
Apparently, I'm writing prison letters.
All right, great. That's just in time.
All right. All right.
All right. So you're spending your evening writing a letter to those people who know Martin Brannigan.
Yes,
Who
and
he's got on his list of, in case of emergency, call this number.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you may have actually met some of those people, and they would have been at Starfleet Command with Admiral Layton preparing to coup against the president. All right, Dr. Smith, where are you? Oh, I don't see you. Okay. Well, welcome. Glad you're here. So what we're doing is we're playing the last evening while Colonel Kira is in charge of Deep Space Nine. There's going to be a brief ceremony in the morning, and she's out of here. So Manny went and saw Tinker Bahel and presented him with some blood wine, and he's now very happy with you guys. And Droff went and wrote scientific reports, blowing off his rock star wife, who was partying at Quark's. Vita is writing a letter to Martin Brannigan's next of kin, in quotes for a clone. And what do you do?
I'm finally going to go in and get my infirmary sorted out. Basically,
Okay.
I basically spent like an hour trying to exercise a power wraith and chasing interloping and overreaching military people who were trying to interfere with my adjudicating medicine to a patient, and then I got sucked off into some adventure with space bees.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. So you're going to spend the night at the infirmary?
That depends how far my quarters away from the infirmary.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. We'll say your quarters are probably not too far from the infirmary. It would be logical. But if there's a problem with that, well, actually, let me roll a die. Oh, my. Your quarters are already right next door to the infirmary. So I was going to say you need to speak to the quartermaster, who's not here right now. But you don't need to speak to the quartermaster because you were already assigned excellent quarters.
Wow, something's looking up for once.
Yeah. All right. So what does that mean for how you spend your evening?
Well, what else is there to do?
You said you wanted to sort out the infirmary.
There's also a concert tonight with one of my wives, and they're apparently groupies in the bar drinking with her. So, if you want to wind up, married.
Well, what band is your wife in?
Basai Mistress is their name.
Get the fuck out, them. That's like my favorite band. But you know what I'm going to do? I am too cool to be one of these star fuckers who's gonna just hang on to that. I'm one of those who's gonna have to I'm too cool to notice, so I'm gonna go to the bar and get a drink, and if they're there, I'm gonna be very obvious about pretending to not notice that there's my favorite rock star is 3 feet away. I have experience because I did this with some people from REM who were at the Rock Hall last year. So, I can actually role play this very well.
Great. So they're not actually playing any music. Quark can't afford them, but they are drinking and partying and being very friendly and having a good time. And if one of them gets drunk, they may knock out a solo or something. But Quark can't afford to pay them for a performance. They may do a concert if later on. We'll see.
Well, gee, my new best friend is married to one of the band members. Maybe we can make something happen.
She's actually the lead singer. She's probably the lead guitar or something, except I don't have the file open saying the name of the instrument she plays, and I'm not going to worry about it right now.
You do realize Groff is married to every woman who is not human or Andromedan.
I'm aware that Droff is not a firm proponent of traditional marriage, yes, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, that's what denobulans are like. All denobulans are poly.
I believe that is denobulan traditional marriage.
Right, that is. Okay, that's it. So you do go to Quark's, you do kind of bask in the presence of the band without geeking out as a fanboy.
I'm geeking out as a fanboy, but it's totally internal because, again, I'm way too cool to let that stuff show on the outside.
Way too cool. So
exactly.
You got to visit the infirmary. It's fairly in order. You don't have any critical cases going on right now. Nothing serious going on. Oh, that was it. I need to find my list of NPCs at Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, the question is how scared is that doctor who worked with him previously?
Yeah. That's Dr. Tessick. Dr. Tessick is still around. It was Boki that was retiring and didn't get to, and Kira wouldn't let him retire because Kira was pissed at Joel. All right, so now we're ready for the morning. We are ready for your last meeting with Colonel Kira, and there will be a brief ceremony, and she's out of here.
Easy peasy.
Okay, so you show up for your morning meeting with Colonel Kira, let's say in her office. She's asked all the senior staff to be there. So all the player characters should show up. Except when you get there, it's just you guys.
Uh-oh. All right.
So,
This is awkward.
oh, I'm sorry. It's not just you guys. Joel is there.
Okay.
All right. And she says to you, she explains why Barbara's not there. She says, well, my last official order is to grant a request of Barbara Draper. Barbara suggested that Deep Space Nine should become the supply hub for Starfleet logistics in this sector. And that seemed like a good idea because we've always had trouble getting supplies. So she has left the station to make the logistics arrangements. I'm not sure how she has the pull to do that as a lieutenant junior grade, but she assures me she can swing this and make Deep Space Nine the supply hub for Starfleet resources in this sector. So when she gets back, you should be better provisioned than Deep Space Nine ever has been while I was here.
Yeah, I assure you, she is a significantly good quartermaster. Not very good at the helm, but a very good quartermaster.
Who does she know?
She didn't tell me. But she
Gotta be
did
somebody.
she did seem to, well, and this is Game Master talking, not Colonel Kira. You saw that she seemed to have some connections on Wrigley's Pleasure Planet.
Well, she got us that bloodline wine really
did.
fast.
I'm just saying that, what'd you say she was, a Lieutenant JG?
Lieutenant JG.
Flat out doesn't have that kind of stroke based on her rank, so she has to know somebody.
And she says, oh yeah, I can get the entire Federation supply lines rearranged so that we make Deep Space Nine a logistics hub. Now, just leave it to me. I'll be back in a couple of days.
Just a couple of days. God, I love those humans.
So
That's not fishy or anything.
So she left before you guys got up this morning. She took a runabout and she's off. That was kind of Kira's last official act as commander, was to authorize that.
Doctor is silently checking that name off as somebody to keep an eye on in the future with, a very wary eye.
Yeah, that's Barbara Draper with a capital Drape, and don't let her at the helm.
God, I will not make that mistake again, not even in training.
All right, so she has an important message for you guys, something you need to understand about what's going on on Bajor as she retires there. Now is the time they are finally getting around, and this is Kira talking now, they're finally getting around to electing the new Kai. Last time we lost Kai Opaka, it took about 1.5 years before they elected the new Kai. This time it's been longer. It's been over 2 years because a lot of the Vedics have been doing missionary work. We've had missionaries all over the Federation. Some missionaries have even gone into Klingon and Romulan space, and a lot have gone into Cardassian space because there's so much rebuilding that needs to be done. Like the Vedic that you took, that you had, who went to Beta Z. What was his name? Vedic Deplan was doing missionary work, and he had an orb with it. So the Vedics are all finally assembling again, and they're getting ready to elect the new Kai. Now, there are 2 candidates for Kai, and Starfleet asked my opinion about who would be good they should prefer for the new Kai. And I told them it's none of their prophet's damn business. But I'll tell you that Vedic Ungte is your man. The Federation has invested a lot in a reconstruction program to help rebuild Cardassian civilization after the Dominion did so much damage to it at the end of the war.
Wait, can you repeat that? Your sound cut out. I didn't hear that last sentence, Mike.
Oh, it did? Okay. So since the end of the war, where so much of Cardassian space was destroyed and so many Cardassians were killed by the Dominion.
He keeps saying Cardassians instead of Kardashians.
The Federation has been trying to rebuild there. They've had an extensive rebuilding program.
In Cardassia.
In Cardassian space and on the planet Cardassia Prime particularly. But the Dominion torched the place. They they were trying to wipe out Cardassians because the shapeshifter just got pissed at them.
Well, I'm just obviously I've spent the last couple of months on the complete other end of the galaxy, so I've been trying to kind of get filled in on this. But didn't the Cardassians have that coming?
Well, that's what's at stake here. Vedic Unte is the more
I'm
liberal.
talking. This is Kira we're talking to, right?
Yes, Vedic
I'm like-
Unte is the
I mean,
more
can-
liberal, who is not racist and doesn't hold a grudge against Cardassians, and is more amicable to the Federation's agenda. His rival, Vedic Yavir, is a total bigot and a racist, and he would be totally pleased if the Cardassians had been wiped out by the Dominion. So he is not suitable for the Federation's agenda in Reconstruction. All right, did I speak slowly enough? Is that clear now?
Yeah. I'm speaking in the doctor's phrase, tone of voice here. I'm like, again, you gotta excuse me for being new to this scenario, Commander. But do you define bigotry as in does wanting the Cardassians as a society to pay for and truly reckon with their actions? Does that qualify as bigotry?
Well, they just went through a pretty horrific extermination at the hands of the Dominion.
Okay. And after they put your race and others through similar hell, did they come back in and swoop in to put you back on your feet, or did they leave you to piss in the wind?
They did not come sweep in to put us back on our feet. The Federation did. And the Federation is doing the same thing for the Cardassians now, because that's what the Federation does. And some Bajorans are fine with that. The Federation helped us, let the Federation help them. Some Bajorans are not. Some Bajorans will never stop against the Cardassians, and they are favoring Vedic Yavir for the new Kai.
Well, I'm sure it's none of my business, and the Bajorans are free to decide as a race where they want to go and how they want to embrace their future with the Cardassians. But I, for one, don't think I can blame them if they want nothing to do with helping the Cardassians.
Well, I'm not going to say I disagree with you. What I'm giving you is my opinion of what would suit your agenda as Federation officers.
The real question,
Not helping murderers?
the real question, Commander Kira, is which of the two will benefit the Federation the most? Cardassians not included in the equation.
Well, if
Excellent
Yavir,
question.
if Yavir is elected Kai, he will not be very conducive to Federation agendas. He's extremely conservative, very prejudiced toward Bajorans and against other races, and has a very conservative view of the Bajoran religion and the prophets. And I wish I could do a good Nana visitor impression, but you're just going to have my voice saying this.
Well, thank you for your advice, Commander Kira.
Now, Unte, he's very plain, very boring. He actually favors a generous Cardassian reconstruction. And that is starting to get us to the last things I'm going to tell you without you asking questions, because the game master is not going to reveal too much more without questions from the players. Yavir, ironically, was inspired to be a Vedic years ago by the emissary himself, Cisco. Umte is much more tolerant of Cardassians. Unfortunately, he's in a bit of a pickle in communicating with the Cardassians. They've been angry at him lately, and I'm not sure why. I just have bits and pieces. And now it's time for you to start asking questions.
Other than the obvious stuff with the election of the Vedic, is there anything else I need to be aware of in terms of ongoing tensions or potential problems on the station?
Well, the office that is buying starships is a little bit of a point of contention for a few people. They're a little horrified about what that program is about. But it is one of the most profitable businesses on Deep Space Nine. So since the Dominion became our friendly trading partners, it has been very good for commerce here at Deep Space Nine.
Now, our becoming a supply hub, is this going to cause problems with Quark? Do I need to keep an eye on him?
Everything causes a problem with Quark. You always need to keep an eye on Quark.
Okay.
Please don't stop keeping an eye on Quark.
Droth, Manny Smith, is there anything you need to ask Commander Kira?
Yes. Is there any increase in Klingon activity?
Of the Klingon Defense Force? Not really. Not that we know of. We've not heard of anything of the Klingons moving any ships into this sector.
Okay.
Yeah, we just have the Dominion ship buying program and refurb Starship program that Bahel is running, right?
Well, Bahel's not running it. He's just repairing some of the ships on contract. Other ships have just gone straight through the wormhole. Like the Romulans sent a few of their old cruisers through last week. Or not last week, probably a couple of days ago. While you were gone. They didn't need
can we add a standing order somewhere that if the USS Cerritos comes anywhere within like 50 light years of us to notify us immediately?
That will be up to you after you are in charge of the station.
They were mostly harmless. Manny, do you have anything to ask Commander Kira?
Not at the moment. Come back to me though.
Okay. Dr. Smith,
Yes.
do you have anything you need updates from Commander Kira about before she's no longer accessible to us for briefings?
No, I got what I need.
Let's
Pleasure
see
meeting
here.
you, Commander. Enjoy your retirement.
Commander Kira, how much are people aware of what the ships are being used as when they cross into in space?
Well, since that conversation you had last week, everybody at Quarks has been talking about it.
Okay. So it's general knowledge at this point. What's happening?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. Any wise sage advice you have to hand off to me?
Yes.
Good luck and don't
You
fucking.
haven't gotten to spend much time at Deep Space Nine yet. So you don't know the social complexities that have been going on here. There is a new restaurant on the promenade that was opened up about 9 months ago, run by the Deltons.
What? Wait, what? Did
The
you say?
Deltons,
Did you say Deltons?
there are Deltons from Delta 4 running a restaurant on the promenade.
Oh hell yes!
There is a stigma attached to eating at that restaurant. Not that that stigma has driven away a whole lot of business.
Define stigma.
Well,
Hey,
it is a Delton custom that every business interaction involve some form of sex.
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew
Well-
it. I knew it. I knew it.
okay, yes,
So-
and yes, and
So
I knew what was coming.
so did everybody.
it's a Delton tradition at Delton restaurants everywhere
I'd lick your hand.
that
How late are
if-
they open tonight?
they're open pretty late. That
Well, listen, guys, Kira, Commander, I want you to enjoy your retirement. This has been a great thing. You know, you are going to leave a great void, and I need to get back to the sick bay. I still haven't got everything set up right. You said it was in the promenade? Wait,
yes, there's a Delton restaurant in the promenade now. And if you are,
I don't really say that, by the way. I'm just
yeah, I understand. So if you go to the Delton restaurant, don't go by accident. Go because you intend to go to the Delton restaurant. Because
well, duh.
you don't engage in some sort of sex act with your server, their feelings will be hurt. If you enjoy your meal, you should also engage in some sort of sex act with the chef. And if you go there on a date, there will be everyone will whisper about what happened on that date. Some people like that. Just understand the ramifications of ever eating at the Delta restaurant. Now, that being said, the fact that we have a Delton restaurant has definitely increased shift traffic coming to Deep Space Nine that don't even care about the wormhole now.
Well, I mean, have you ever actually sampled Delton food? It is pretty good.
Colonel Kira says that's not my speed.
Okay, thank you, Kira, for Commander Colonel Kira, for
Well,
letting
do these
me know that.
customs arrive? Well, let me ask you: are these customs still in place if you only get carry out? Do they have DoorDash?
Oh yeah, DoorDash definitely. So
They deliver?
if you see this half-naked Delton with a bag running through the corridors of Deep Space Nine,
Dr. Smith got hungry and wanted some pot stickers.
Okay. Manny, you wanted me to follow back up with you before we
Yeah, I still don't have any.
I'm just ignoring everything else, you know.
After all that, Manny's got nothing.
Okay,
Well,
you guys can have a
Enjoy your
meeting.
retirement, Colonel Kira.
Thank you.
yes, enjoy your retirement by all means.
So you guys can, after your meeting is over, Colonel Kira is going to go to the promenade, and she's going to go to the upper level of the promenade and make a short speech, and all the civilians and officers who are not busy doing something will be there to listen to her speech. Does anybody go to listen to the colonel's speech? Who stays at ops?
I'm going to go listen to the speech.
I'm going to make reservations at the Delton restaurant, and then I'm going to go listen to the speech.
Okay.
All right, Droff, I'm putting you in charge at ops then. Sorry.
Okay, I will be in charge of ops.
I'm not sure that's the best person to put in charge of ops, but it's better than Barbara
Hey,
Draper,
I'm here.
I suppose.
Yeah, Barbara Draper's not there, and neither is Dracoon. You haven't seen Dracoon. He didn't show up at the senior officers thing here. Oh, and Jal is with Colonel Kira. Jal is at her side. Colonel Kira has asked Jal to accompany her on the Defiant in her return to Bajor. So a crew of not you guys and Jal is going to be her security escort, taking her back to Bajor, and Jal will be back in a day or two.
And of course, I thought about something to ask, but
Well, she's
Too late.
walking to the promenade now. Or riding the elevator, I guess, the turbo lift. You want to talk to her?
Amanda, yes, Colonel Kira, this Keen guy who runs the well done garage. What is your impression of him?
Oh, Keen doesn't run the Comage garage.
Well, he has an office on the promenade. He's the corporate. Wait.
He's the one who's doing the buying of the material, and the Comage Garage is doing the cleanup of the material.
Right, yes.
Keen is a female.
Oh, sorry.
Keen is a docile. Tingat is the male docile. And they work for Bemenach.
For who?
Bemenach is the Karama who got drunk at Quark's that night and gave you lots of extra information about a future adventure.
Well, of course I did. Here, take that and toss it out.
And of course, I
Oh,
didn't
look,
write
give me a Diet Coke.
I don't think there's any cold.
Doesn't matter. Just get
Hey,
one from
Dr.
the back.
Smith, can you mute?
Oh, I'm done.
Okay, yeah, you want to know something about the Geta Enterprises Multiplicities office down there on the promenade?
Yes, I do. Tell me all you got. Any important information we should be wary about?
I already told you they are doing a tremendous business. A lot of money flows through Deep Space Nine since they opened an office here. And yes, they are the ones with the contract at Comage Garage.
Okay. Thank you for that.
All right. I don't really know them very well. I didn't realize that Bemenach was such a drinker. But then he rolled 2 critical failures and any other questions?
fun.
What's the name of the Dalton restaurant?
I don't have that in my notes yet. Everyone just refers to it as the Delton Restaurant for now. And the restaurant is very popular, but again, don't go there by accident. Don't just pick a random place to eat and go to the Delton Restaurant.
Oh no, this is no accident.
All right, so on the promenade, Kira gives her farewell speech. She addresses all the faithful Bajorans and Starfleet officers who have served through so much. And she even gives a nod to Quark for all he's done for the station and even for Bajor. She's happy to see that the promenade is bustling more than ever. The Delton restaurant is much busier than the Cardassian tailor shop that used to be in that place.
Huh.
And she wishes everybody luck and that the profits be with them. And she gets a nice round of applause from everybody. You don't. Jal is standing at her side looking around. He doesn't react like he sees anybody pulling out a gun to assassinate her or anything like that. Her farewell address is pretty well received. And Kira and Jal head off toward the Defiant. Oh, shoot, I've got 2 copies of that document open. No wonder. And I think it was it, yes?
Is that the end of the festivities?
Yes. It wasn't really festivities. It was just
But we're now free, right?
Yep.
Okay. Dr. Smith is I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I just had to.
All right. So, what was the name of that starship? The USS Challenger. You've got a Galaxy class starship docked there at Deep Space Nine that was all torn apart when you left, and they've got it fixed now. And it's time for them to leave also. So we're going to go to that video, Doug. And they are going to undock from Deep Space Nine. It is time for them to leave. And they are going to leave the same time the Defiant leaves, as kind of an honor guard.
Bye.
And the Defiant is going to head back to Bajor. And the Galaxy class starship is going to head back to Starbase, where they're going to have to explain about getting taken over by a Pa Wraith and all the bad stuff that happened. So, you're now in charge.
I take a deep breath because I didn't think I was going to get away without Kira finding out what she wasn't supposed to find out. I thought for sure we were going to get in trouble there.
So you're the new commander of Deep Space Nine? You're the top cheese, the big kahuna?
Am I?
Yes. Yes, you are.
I thought I was, but I didn't want to make assumptions.
And
This is going to be fun.
And let's get this straight. I believe that Mani is your second in command by.
Wait.
Yeah.
Height at the very minimum. Yes, Mani is the next ranking person in our group.
Okay.
What rank is she?
Lieutenant Commander.
Same as me.
Yeah, most of you are lieutenant commanders.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
but you're the head of.
Yeah, you're in charge of medical on the station.
I'm perfectly aware of that. Yes.
All right. Okay, so what do you do?
All right. I pull my crew together and we have a quick meeting to see what we know and what we need to resolve.
All right.
Dr.
All right.
Smith comes in looking very tired, but with a huge smile on his face.
Oh,
How was lunch, Doctor?
Their pad thai is amazing.
I'm surprised
I
Paul
mean-
hasn't been there yet, but I guess he has too many wives. So, just to touch base with you all and make sure that we all know what we need to know. Apparently, Commander Odo, or Odo, not Commander Odo. What's Odo's? He doesn't have any rank currently, I believe. Odo,
He
of
had
the
been a
Changelings.
constable, but currently Jawl is the constable.
Yeah. Former Constable Odo will be coming to the station soon. So just a heads up on that. There may be some tensions involved in that visit with anybody who knew him previously. We have information now we know about the Dominion having war games to get rid of their excess soldiers. Which is why we have all the ships coming through Tinkerbehel's location. Let's see here. We haven't shared with anybody, and I think we should not share with anybody unless they find out on their own that oh, I'm blanking on his name. I'm so bad with names.
Anaximander. The first name's Anaximander.
No, the new emissary.
Oh,
Let's keep that.
I knew that.
Let's keep that under our hats for now. We can't do anything about the Bajorans spreading it amongst themselves if they want to. But if they're not spreading it, we should not be.
Shouldn't Dracoon be in this meeting?
Well, he's.
I don't know who's there as an NPC. Let's say Happy Kucharski is attending the meeting. Says, shouldn't Dracoon be here when you're talking about him?
This is getting a little complicated because Dracoon does not have any quarters on the station, and our quartermaster has run off to, let's just say, make us a very important location, as if we weren't already.
Okay, but why isn't he attending the meeting?
We'll send him the transcript later.
Okay.
Let's see, what else do we need to recap that we need to be keeping our eyes on? Because there seem to be a lot of moving parts around here.
Always keep our eye on Quark.
Keep an eye on Quark. Okay, I think that's all the moving parts, right? I'm not missing anything, guys?
I don't know. Are you?
I'm asking my crew, and they're all being silent.
Odo's coming to the station. War games to get rid of the Jem'Hadar.
I have some concern that the Klingon who recently got kicked out may have some outstanding issues to settle with us.
I think he's less focused on the us than me, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I haven't seen any unfamiliar Klingons around. I think we'll be fine. All right. What are hot button issues that we need to be keeping track of right now? I need somebody to seek out this Tech fellow, and let's see if he's everything Colonel Kira told us he would be. Anybody want to volunteer for that?
Well, the candidates for Kai are on Bajor.
Ah,
There's nobody hanging out the station who's running for Kai.
well, there's but we can send them a message.
Yes?
So who would like to volunteer to reach out to Tech?
Do we really need to? Do we really need to be interfering in the Bajorans' handling of their affairs?
That gets
I mean, I
complicated
understand
because they're
the
handling of
points that Commander
the-
Kira made, but there's an ethical consideration here, which is that the Bajorans should basically be free to decide this for themselves, come what may, without.
explain to me how we are interfering by touching base with the candidate we prefer.
I think it's the mere presence of the mere presence of the commanding officer of a major Starfleet base, the major Starfleet presence in this quadrant. Merely contacting these candidates implies that we're interfering in it on a certain level.
Hold on, Dr. Smith. You will notice that I did not say I was going to reach out. I asked which of you were going to reach out.
The fact that you need to use subterfuge even underscores my point.
Maybe we should have had Shaw, since he was going to Bajor and is a Bajoran. Maybe we should have had him contact.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds good. He's an interested party. He has a vested interest in the election, so
and
yeah.
he is on his way to Bajor. So maybe, yeah. Let's send him a.
You can kind of get a feel of the climate on Bajor towards the Federation.
So you're going to send Jal a subspace transmission while he's on the Defiant heading toward Bajor?
Yeah.
All right. What are you going to say?
Anybody have any thoughts on what I can say that won't upset Dr. Smith?
Say whatever you want. I'm not going to interfere in that. I'm just asking the unanswered. I'm just making a point that no one else seems to be making here that needs to be taken into consideration. I fully do not misunderstand me. I completely understand that one candidate is preferable to the other candidate based on our criteria. But basically, if I'm a Bajoran, screw the Federation's criteria. People have been telling the Bajorans what to do with themselves for generations. And because we're with Starfleet and we like to think of ourselves as the good guys, our hands aren't squeaky clean in this galaxy. Believe me. So I'm voicing my own ethical consideration. I'm not going to interfere in whatever you want to do. I'm simply voicing a concern that I think needs to be taken into consideration.
I hear you. I've taken it under advisement. The message we're going to say to Joel is to have him speak with Kira about Tech and make an effort to reach out to Umtech and assess the
Okay,
political.
so you're talking to Joel now. Yes. What do you want, Commander? What can I do for you, Commander?
Oh, Joel, good. Kira gave us a heads up on a Vedic by the name of Umtech.
Wait, is that? I thought
Umte. Yes, I know Vedic Umte.
okay.
Been a Vedic a long time. He's kind of an old guy.
All right. If you can do us a favor while you're down there in Bejor, just reach out to him and get a sense of the political situation down there.
Yeah, if you want to make it nonpartisan, you could have him reach out to the other candidate as well. But
Yeah, what's the name of the other guy again?
Yavir.
Yavir, yes.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy sounds like a piece of work, but if that's who Bajor chooses, that's who they choose.
actually, if you want to give them a reason to talk to these guys, ask them their opinion on Deep Space Nine becoming a hub for Supplying Federation,
Okay,
and see if they have an opinion on that, because that does involve us and our future here. So,
And it wouldn't hurt to reach out to both anyway. Because either way, we're going to have to work with who is elected. So it's better not to show favorites.
Okay.
Even though we do have one, but it's better not to show that.
yeah. And if one's going to be an asshole about it, then that's, that'll sort itself out very quickly.
Well, no, it won't. The history has not been good on that side. But anyways, yes. Okay.
Paul says, okay, well, Umte is fairly well known. I wouldn't have any problem reaching out to him. He's boring as, I don't know, the realm of the power apes, whatever Bajoran hell is. But I'm sure I could have a conversation with him. I'm not sure about Yavir. I will attempt to talk to him, but he's kind of weird and mean and angry and conspiracy theory like, but I will attempt to talk to him.
That would be appreciated, and particularly since you're Bajoran, I think you are the right person to reach out.
Whatever you say, Commander, I am at your service.
Also, feel out without asking directly what they know about the previous claim about the emissary and what they believe, because
Can you be more specific? The previous claim, you mean the Cisco? You mean?
No, I mean our most recent claim of somebody being an emissary.
Wait, can I ask a game question?
Yeah.
How well known was it that the Vedic said that Dracun was the emissary? I honestly don't remember.
Well, we know that Dr. Smith was there, the Vedic was there. Let's see, the Admiral was there.
You have a Vedic on Deep Space Nine who runs the chapel at Deep Space Nine. Her name is Zun, Vedic Zun de School. And the Vedic reluctantly contacted the Vedic Assembly and told all the other Vedics about this emissary thing.
Okay.
And she said, I don't like it. I don't think I believe it myself, but I have to report to the Vedic Assembly what I witnessed. And she faithfully did so.
So what we need to know from Joel is what the two candidates' position on the claim is without making any statement about our belief in the claim of one way or another.
Okay. Anything else, Commander?
Not that I can think of, but keep your ear to the ground and feed us any intel you get, please.
Will do, Commander. Joel out. I think we got to get Joel to start going by his
All right.
first name, which is his last name. so it's not so confusing with Droff. All right. Anybody else want to do anything else before the next scene begins?
Yeah, I want to start doing some research on this rogue comet that actually, what I want to do is I want to start preparing an unmanned probe to see if I can track it down.
Well, you just missed your good chance to ask the crew of the starship that actually visited the rogue comet.
Sorry.
You could probably contact them by subspace.
This was what the one that just the
Yeah.
Challenger.
Yes.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, I can go ahead and contact the subspace, see if they have any information on this rogue comet.
Okay. We will we'll get you that information in a subsequent scene. They will call you back.
Okay.
All right. And anyone else before we change scenes? Okay, that being said, Doug, we're ready to roll the next video. Through the wormhole comes a Dominion battleship. A massive, massive vessel. And it docks at Deep Space Nine. You now have this really badass looking monster of a ship docked at your space station. And is anyone going down to the airlock to meet them? Any player characters going down?
I, of course, am, and I definitely want Manny at my side.
Well, technically, Dracoon should probably be the one going, but yeah.
Are you going to ask Dracoon to go?
Yeah, I hate to ask a player character to go when he's not here, but yes.
You're going to call Dracoon.
Yeah.
He does not respond.
Okay.
All right. And Manny, I need you with. Anybody else coming with?
Am I still in charge of ops?
It's either that or put Dr. Smith in charge of ops.
He's in charge of sickbay. He's fine. Infirmary.
You have other officers. I mean, it's a big station.
If you want to come with, you can come with, and I can put another officer in charge of ops for the time being.
Oh, okay.
So, Droff, I do have to wonder how long you're going to ignore your wife.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure we had some kind of session in between. Let's see here.
That's what they're calling it these days.
Yes. All right. Well, I have cultural flexibility, so that might help. Let's go talk to the Dominion.
Is that the only kind of flexibility you have?
Okay, you go down to the airlock where the Jem'Hadar battleship is docked. The huge gear door rolls open. Out step two Jem'Hadar soldiers at either side of the door and stand flanking it. And to your surprise, what emerges behind them from the door is a bunch of bedraggled-looking Cardassians. So I'll say 11 bedraggled Cardassians. And no, I haven't made up names for them yet.
Kim, Chloe, Courtney, Rob.
And then you see a changeling who's fairly famous.
Odo.
Behind them comes the famous Odo. And with the Odo is another changeling. who looks and sounds exactly like the female changeling that we saw in Deep Space Nine. They generally don't have names. So this other changeling comes out with Odo.
He's a hoe for show.
And Odo is looking around. You know, Odo, it's hard to read the expression on his face, but
Is he angry like Don?
you could bet he is having
They heard that.
Did they?
He's
I
having
really
some
heard
sort of
Because they're
emotional
laughing.
reaction to seeing Deep Space Nine again.
They wouldn't know who he is. Only Mike would know.
They'll know who Don is.
Only a couple people.
Odo,
Is he
it is,
angry?
it is my pleasure to welcome you back to Deep Space Nine.
Thank you, Commander. It is kind of gratifying to be here again. But I see you've taken pretty good care of the place since the war, made some improvements.
Well, I think that's all due to my predecessor.
Um,
I've only just taken command.
Part of our mission is to repatriate these Cardassian prisoners who were taken during the war. I'd like to turn them over to you to have them taken care of and then return to Cardassian space back to their families or whoever can be found. Will the Federation take care of that, please?
Of course. I get, an underling, somebody around to take them to Dr. Smith first to clear them.
Yeah, we've got we're going to say there's a Bajoran woman named Yaga Ozian, who's one of the security deputies. So she's with you. She's probably running security right now while Joel is away.
All right. Yaga, can you please take our guests to sick
Yes.
bay and make sure they're cleared and don't need any more support? And then
I'll take them down to the infirmary and have them checked out, and then we'll get quarters for them.
yes, thank you.
We'll try to contact their families.
And let me know if I need to intercede in any of that proceeding. Otherwise,
And Odo says, "Now where is Dracoon? I'm supposed to interview him, and he hasn't returned to the Dominion. They have asked me to make sure he's not being held against his will."
all right. I try hailing the ship again. Dracoon?
There's no response.
Dracoon.
There is no response. Says
The
And
founding
Odo says, "Is there a problem?"
representative wishes to speak with you. Still silence, huh?
Still silence.
um,
Where is this Borta? We need to talk to him.
I'll see if I can.
promise I'm not going to hurt him. The founders just want to make sure he's not being held against his will.
I'll see if I can locate him in his quarters.
Okay, so you're going to go to Starship 11.
Yes.
All right. So meanwhile, when you may notice, let's see, who would be a sensitive one of you? Oh shit, none of you is very sensitive. Dr. Smith, are you at the infirmary?
Yes,
Because you've got patients headed there.
I figured.
Yeah. Nobody's injured. You just need to be checking out some they're not like bleeding or broken limbs or anything like that. They may be a little malnourished or a little psychologically traumatized.
Or carrying
But
any weird.
nobody needs surgery or anything. It's just routine physical examinations, level 0 stuff for you. And there's 11 of them.
Have you noticed that everything coming from the Delta Quadrant lately is 11? Just saying.
That happens to be the number I rolled.
The Gamma Quadrant. And now I know why you
Gamma,
couldn't hear
sorry.
me. I've been on mute.
Ah!
Oh.
I was going to suggest that I be the one to go find Draccoon because A, I'm with you. B, I'm not at Ops. I'm not in charge of Ops, so Ops could still be manned.
Okay.
That's fine. We have other people to man ops. Well,
All right.
Well, why don't
So-
you go with Droff? The two of you together.
All right. The two
Okay.
of you go to Starship 11 and you find it empty. You go to his quarters. He is not there.
Great. So do we tell the commander?
He's not a Starfleet officer.
Computer, locate Draccoon.
Draccoon is not on the station.
Computer, how long ago did Draccoon leave the station?
Draccoon left the station 27 hours ago.
What the?
Okay.
Computer, by what method means did Draccoon leave?
Unknown.
Great.
Okay. Try last position.
Last known location, yeah.
Oh, computer, what's the last known location of Draccoon?
Draccoon's last known location was in his quarters aboard Starship 11.
All right, let's search his quarter, see if we can figure anything out. You brought your tricorder, right?
Droff?
I'm sorry.
You brought your tricorder, right? We're gonna go try to figure out.
Well, actually, it's a Vulcan computer, but yes.
All right.
Because
right.
computers are always
How about some kind of roll here?
All right.
Rolls what?
Let's see. Let's see. This would be
How about an insight plus science?
all right. That's good.
Science.
2 dice. And Ella, you roll
Yes.
one also. You are rolling for Droff's computer, which is helping him.
8.
All right. I rolled an 11 and a 17. That's one success. If
Everyone wants success.
the computer rolled what? An 8?
Yes. That's
That
another
would also be a
success.
success.
So there is no sign of a struggle on one of the successes. And maybe a trace that a transporter was used. But 2 successes only gets you that.
So we can't scan to see if
do we have a specific time when he disappeared?
27 hours ago.
No. I mean, that, as in, can we lock down when exactly the event happened? Can we like scan the station logs to see if there was any kind of shield modulation in order
I
to
see.
operate a transport?
Ask the computer again what you
All
asked
right.
about.
Yeah,
Ask the station's computer.
Okay.
What do you say?
Yeah, I'm asking Deep Space Nine. I'm trying to lock down when a transport might have occurred. If someone was transported off of this ship, was there any like shield modulation that had to happen, or any kind of signature? There's a carrier. Yeah, there's a carrier frequency that would have to be established.
Ask a specific question that I can answer here.
Show me all the carrier frequencies that were, active around this ship at the time that the giraffe disappeared.
There were no sensor scans running of Starship. We weren't scanning Starship 11.
No, I'm just any records in the station's shields showing any kind of modulation that would show a transport beam.
The station shields were down. You're not in battle.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, transportation beams have a specific range. Give me a list of all ships that were within transport range of this ship on this specified time frame.
Okay. And you get a list of some ships. The only ones that have left, the band's bus arrived since then, and the only ones that have left are the Challenger and the Defiant.
Can we contact Joel and ask him to ask around if Dracoon is on board?
Is there a Vorta wandering around Bajor? That's a difficult investigation to run.
Can Joel discreetly scan for Vorta life signs?
You want? All right, you're calling the Defiant again, and he's supposed to go down to Bajor with Kira now. Are you asking him to stay on the Defiant, or do you want him to take a tricorder down to Bajor and start? What are you asking him?
Damn. Well, is the Defiant still en route to Bajor?
The Defiant is in orbit around Bajor right now. They're about to beam down. What do you want? I'm supposed to go down for Kira's ceremony now, and then I'll be coming home tomorrow.
Quick scan for Vorta life signs. Just a quick scan for Vorta life signs.
The whole planet?
No.
That'll take a while.
Do the shit. Has anybody left the Defiant yet?
No. Scan the
quick
Defiant.
Scan the Defiant.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Let me bring up Joel's. Here we go.
Okay. While she's doing that, I'm going to go back to ops and go into the station computer. I'm going to start programming it to do scanning of Vorta life signs basically all over the station and anywhere the sensors can reach, basically.
Joel does not find any Vorta aboard the Defiant.
Okay, thank you. Is there a way to destroy?
What? Go on.
Well, no, continue with what you were going to say about the Defiant.
It's small enough to be scanned pretty quickly.
Okay. Is there any way to discreetly contact the Challenger and have them scan for Vorta life signs?
No.
I mean, it's a Starfleet vessel. You could call them on a Starfleet channel if you want to.
Yes, we should contact the Challenger and have them run the same scan.
Yeah, but we would probably need to explain why, and that could be interesting.
Well, we're not exactly sure that we know the Vorta that well. looking at these die rolls, but we think there aren't any Vorta on board.
All right, thank you. So it's possible he could have. So there
He
are
could have
still
been-
ships docked, right?
He could have been
That-
transported anywhere on the station. Yeah.
Yeah, and including any of the ships that are still docked, right? So we could scan them as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on
So
now.
We
Is
scan the ship.
So are you going to ops now? You were on the Vorta ships using your equipment.
yeah, I was gonna head down to
Well,
ops and start
Oh,
the
you're going
station.
down to ops. You
Yep.
find Odo waiting for you.
Yes.
So have you found him yet? Well, I need to talk to him before I can leave.
I suggest you get comfortable then.
Wait. What do you mean he should?
What's the problem? Where? Just let me talk to Dracoon. Are you holding him prisoner? Should I go?
We are not.
down- Should I go down to the security office and check
Disappeared.
the house?
Droff, what's going on, and what are you not telling me?
Dracoon has disappeared.
Yeah, we can't locate him.
There is a trace of a transporter from his quarters, but we haven't been able to determine where the transporter went.
So, wait. He just left.
Who?
If just is
Droff?
like
Dracoon?
27 hours, then yes.
27 hours?
That's when the computer noted that he had left.
So Dracoon's been kidnapped?
We
Well,
don't know.
we haven't determined that.
What do you mean you don't know?
So that would be like right after you guys got home.
Yes. I was delivering blood wine, so I didn't know I was supposed to be babysitting Vorta.
I didn't think Vorta needed babysitting.
Yeah, neither we.
His last known whereabouts was in his quarters on his ship 27 hours ago. There's a trace of a transporter. Might have been in use. There was no struggle and a trace of a transporter, but we weren't able to determine where the transporter went.
All right. And was there any evidence on the ship of communication between the ship and any other ships?
I don't know if we checked that.
Monty, go
We did
back.
not check.
Go check that.
I'll go back and check.
Droff, do you
Hey!
have a plan?
We only got 2 successes, okay?
Droff, do you have any plans for how to clear the station, make sure he's not here somewhere? And
Yeah,
we're not-
I'm trying to scan that now.
okay.
All right, let's have a roll and someone roll for the station.
All right.
the
That
station.
is.
And we're doing-
pull up-
Was that reason, insight, and then either what, security or science? What am I rolling here?
Insight science was
Yeah.
what we used before.
There it is. I actually
I rolled a
bought
4 for the station.
4. Excellent. I actually bought the official Deep Space Nine addendum, so I have the stats on the station. Although this is pre-war, the station's been upgraded a little bit since then. Wow.
All right, Droff, did you roll?
No. Is this insight, reason, science? Reason, science?
Insight science.
It would be
Insight
inside science.
Yeah, crap.
What'd you get?
I got a 16 and a 19.
Oh, and who's rolling for the station?
I
Yeah.
did. It was a 4.
Oh, okay,
that's
good.
Okay. Does a 4 tell us anything?
Yeah,
the GM has the crap. What do I do with these people? They weren't supposed to do this. Bad look on his face.
Well,
No,
I have the computer as my friend, so does that count as double success?
wow, this is loading so slowly. I'm sorry, I'm delayed because apparently this thing loads really slowly while we're in a teleconference. I didn't think to download it ahead of time.
Was it like a PDF?
Yeah, it's a PDF. I sure didn't expect it to be slow. All right, there we are. All right, well. Yeah, there is no sign of the Vorta in your first scan, but it's going to take scanning the entire station is an extended task. You'll have to try a few times. Like that was, let's say 1/3 of the station.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
you'll have to do it again for the next pylon and high wedge of the station. So roll again, you and Ella.
Okay. That's better. 2 successes.
Ugh.
You got 2 successes, but Ella got a failure.
Yep.
Okay, in the second pylon, there is no sign of a Vorta. Now go to the third pylon.
Oh, okay. Oh,
6.
that was bad. I got a 19 and a 20.
Oh, 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
Okay.
ruined my good roll. At least I didn't
So
ruin your
you
good
got a
rolls.
complication.
It's a complication.
So you got a complication. You have spotted 5 Vorta.
Oh.
Now you're currently scanning the section of Deep Space Nine that has a Dominion battleship docked at it.
Oh, it didn't occur to us that, yeah, maybe the Dominion wanted to talk to him.
Odo, how many Vorta do you have aboard your ship?
There are 5 Vorta on the battleship.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that accounts for every Vorta we have found. So Dracoon is not on the station. Dracoon did not tell us he was leaving, but he's also not a Federation.
Have we finished scanning the station?
Yeah, you've done 3 sections. So then there's just the checking of the communication logs on the ship for Manny.
And I had, yes. Am I
So-
still doing?
Odo says, so we're dealing with a missing persons case here?
It appears so, yes.
Where's your chief of security?
He is on Bayshore right now.
So you need a detective?
Uh-oh. Odo wants to play detective. Can I roll for the communications
Let's get
or are we
started.
waiting for the-
Where was the victim last seen?
In his
Am I
quarters.
gonna roll for the
Yeah. GM, let Ella do the communication role, and then I'll update Odo.
Is that still insight and science?
All right, what are you communicating?
Looking for any kind
Yes.
of yeah.
Okay. This is a difficulty 1. This is pretty easy. It would actually be a difficulty 0 if it weren't a Vorta ship, but you're still not that super familiar with Vorta. So now I have to call up the ship.
Does my Dominion tech help with this at all?
Oh, yeah. Okay, then for you, it's going to be difficulty 0. All right.
All right.
No communications logs from the ship.
Okay.
Well, actually, that does give us a hint in terms of it may not have been voluntary, because normally one communicates with somebody before they're beamed away.
So Odo, if nobody stops him, Odo is on his way to Starship 11 right now. Excited to be on the case.
Manny, can you please let Odo on the ship?
I'm going to take Odo to the ship. I
Okay,
follow.
so when Odo gets there, you're going to let him in.
Yes.
All right, show me the scene of the crime. Let's investigate.
All right. His last known whereabouts was in his quarters, which is this way.
I'm going to start scanning any ships that are still in the area around Deep Space Nine.
Well,
outside
there
the
are
base.
ships. There are ships in the area around Deep Space Nine. I mean, you're in a busy star system.
Yeah, I'm going to start scanning whatever ships might still be around the station.
There are some Bajoran transports. There are a couple of old Romulan ships are going to be arriving soon. You can see them on the scanner. Probably part of the deal to go to the Gamma Quadrant. There's a Ferengi transport coming. And some Bajoran ships also. A few Bajoran shuttles. There's a Bajoran shuttle coming. There's a Bajoran shuttle passing nearby that is going between planets of the system that is not stopping at Deep Space Nine. And meanwhile, Odo gets out his tricorder. And he does his Odo scan. And Odo said, "Did you know there are transporter traces here?"
Yes, we had traces of a transporter, but we were unable.
Yeah, yes, I understand. But did you see this harmonic resonance? That's a Klingon transporter.
We did not notice it was a Klingon transporter.
You didn't roll well enough.
The last time we used Dross Vulcan instruments.
So what was the last Klingon ship to leave here? That's the first place to look.
All right.
Yeah, you have already looked. There has not been a Klingon ship to depart the station.
Yeah, but there are Klingon ships around us.
There are some old Klingon ships at the Kamaj Garage being rebuilt.
All right. Well, if let's see, if Monty can tell me to look for Klingons, then I can start scanning Klingon targets.
Start scanning Klingon targets.
All right, I will start scanning Klingon targets.
So what are you going to do? You're going to start scanning those ships that are docked at Kamaj Garage?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's have a roll.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Somebody roll for the station.
I'll roll for the station.
I'll roll. Okay.
3.
Oh, all
that's
right.
cool.
Currently, none of those ships has power activated.
That I'm still looking for Vorta signatures. It could be unpowered. I don't know
Roll
if
again.
they're. Oh, all right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you. Yeah, all right. Their shields are down. They're easy to scan.
All right, 7
I got a 6 and an 8.
and a 7 for the station.
All right. Right now, there are only 3 that have life support operating, and you don't scan any Vorta on those 3. And on the
All
others, you scan no life signs at all. But
If I was a very clever Klingon and I wanted to hide a Vorta, is there anything I would use to like mask his signature?
I don't know. What do you think?
All right.
If it were Superman, I would say
All
lead.
right.
But
You've
no-
got to think, why would a Klingon kidnap a Vorta?
Oh, I know why we would.
Why would he?
Although,
So Odo is talking to you now. Why? Tell me. What do you think?
Well, we recently exposed a Klingon High Commander of some very dishonorable acts in the what was it? The Battle of something or other.
Oh, dishonorable acts. That sounds serious.
Yes,
was
but
kept-
they were swearing vengeance on me, not on Dracoon. I'm not even
Yeah,
sure
well,
Dracoon exists.
if they want to get at you, they're probably going to start with the people around you.
I guess my other question, though, is the Klingons are building ships for battles that Dracoon wants to free his people from. So are we sure we're not chasing a red herring here?
Oh no, I don't know. We're not. We don't know. We're not chasing anything right now.
All right. Odo gathers a little more data at the scene of the crime, and then he comes to Ops to talk to you.
Okay.
All right. So what have you got so far?
We have 3 Klingon vessels with life support, no Vorta signatures. I'm trying to figure out if they're masking his signal somehow. How would they do that? Is there any material that disrupts or interferes with our sensors?
Have you scanned to see if those transporters have been activated lately? You should
Yeah,
be able to tell that.
Okay. Is that another scanning roll?
Yes, and with the ship helping you again.
All right, I got a 3 and a 9.
Okay. You can tell
Who's rolling for the ship?
the transporters on those ships have not been operated. If they even can operate, they're undergoing some repairs. And you're not certain they're even trying to repair the transporters on these ships. It doesn't look like any of them has a functional transporter.
All right, can I scan for functional Klingon transporters in the area? You said that Odo said that there was a harmonic
sitting out there somewhere.
Well, and more problematic, Klingons do have cloaking, so what we see may not be the only Klingon ships available.
Ah, very smart. Okay.
I would suspect a cloaked Klingon ship in this case.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's taken us a little long to get to the conclusion there's a cloaked Klingon ship around here somewhere.
It's only our
Right.
first day. Come on.
Okay. All right. Would that Klingon ship have come through the wormhole?
Seems unlikely. We would have noticed that.
Okay.
More to the point, how do we find a cloaked Klingon ship?
I think I may have some ideas.
Okay.
Hang on just a second. There it is. So slow, so slow. Yeah. Okay. You guys just spent 10 weeks, or not, I'm sorry, not 10 weeks, 10 days aboard a starship that specifically is equipped with anti-cloaking sensors. And you kind of know how to use them even.
All right, so let's go back to 11 and scan away. Do you want me to scan because of my Dominion tech?
With it. Sure. Okay.
Go ahead.
Stupid. 3 and a 4.
3 and a 4. Okay. There is a cloaked Klingon bird of prey in the area.
Ooh.
Now,
Do we know where?
did somebody else roll? Did somebody roll for the ship?
4.
Excellent. That's 3 successes. You think you even recognize this ship, even though it's cloaked?
Yeah, I'll bet.
Okay, that's good enough. What are you going to do?
I'm going to let our commander know that there's a cloaked Klingon ship out there.
It's 1,000 kilometers away or so, hanging off the station.
So it's close enough that we could tractor it?
All right, let's make it 5,000 kilometers away. It's not close enough to the tractor, and it's hard to tractor something that's cloaked. But you could take a ship out there or something.
Yeah, let's get on our ship and fly out.
Do you have any kind of strategy here? Is this like a hostage exchange? Are we offering them anything? What is the
first thing we're going to get to about where it is, and then I'm going to open a channel, and I'm going to let you know I know the jig's up, and then we will find out what they want.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not like we're going to sneak up on a cloaked Klingon ship. We don't have cloaking technology.
Well, you do on the Defiant, but that ain't here.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Okay, so I'm throwing down a threat point. Doug, I'm not logged in. Can we take out a threat there? Throwing down a threat. The Klingon vessel has started moving.
Moving where?
Away from the station. It's getting further away on impulse.
All right.
And at level 0, Odo looks at the tactical readout and he says, "Doesn't it kind of look like it's moving to rendezvous with that Bajoran personnel transport over there?"
All right. Vita to transport or emergency transport to 11. My entire bridge crew, please. Odo, are you coming with?
You've actually got a transporter all at ops.
Oh, okay. We hop in the transporter.
You can beam 2 people at a time.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We don't.
Well, I'm
right.
already there.
Okay, yeah, you all beam over to Starship 11. Do you invite Odo to come along?
I invite Odo to come along if he wishes.
Oh, he'll go.
Dr. Smith. Vita to Dr. Smith. All right, we don't have Dr. Smith. All right, let's go. No time to wait for him.
All right.
Everybody set in a course to rendezvous with the Klingon ship. Let's block it off before wherever it's going.
Are you? Who's at the sensors, Manny? You're at the sensors, right? Manny.
I thought I was.
What? Well, who's?
Droff has to be at the sensors. Monty's at a
Droff is at the sensors.
I'm flying the damn thing.
Droff, you don't even need, you're as you're conducting your undocking sequence. Droff picks up a transporter being operated between the cloaked ship and the Bajoran ship.
Okay. Wait a minute. Did they just kidnap the emissary? Yeah, okay.
And the cloaked ship just went into war.
All right. Well, I guess we're talking the Bajoran ship. I'm going to scan the Bajoran ship for Vortis life signs.
All right.
I got a 1, a 10.
Ooh, somebody roll for the sensors. Quick, help him. That he's got a critical success. This could be important.
11.
4 successes. Excellent. because you rolled so well, you do not pick up Vorta life signs. But
Yay!
But you pick up that there is a stasis chamber on board.
Okay. And that
Oh.
would hide life signs?
Yeah.
That would hide any signs. It suspends time inside it.
Huh.
Right,
Okay.
I open
Okay.
I open a communication channel with the Bajoran transport. This is Commander Vita to Bajoran transport.
Yeah, this is the Bajoran Transport Signac. What can we do for you, Commander?
This is going to sound like a strange question. Do you have a Vorta by the name of Dracoon on board or a...
Vorta? Why would we have one of those foul creatures on board?
Then what was just transported aboard your ship?
Nothing was transported aboard our ship. You're the only ship in the area.
Did you check your scanners? Your logs?
Our scanners only show you. And you're getting closer. What's going on? Are we under arrest?
There was a cloaked Klingon ship. Please hold up. We need to check something.
Well, we don't know anything about any cloaked Klingon ships.
Droff, where is the stasis chamber in question?
Actually, can I transport the stasis chamber to our ship?
Not without permission.
I didn't ask if I needed permission. I asked if I could do it.
Yeah, you are approaching. You are getting within transporter range now.
I was going to suggest that because of the Klingon ship, we need to check because for an infestation of turbals.
Yeah, we should have some authority to conduct a spot inspection for, health regulations, that sort of thing.
So yeah, you're now getting quite close to the Bajoran transport.
Are you doing anything without telling me?
I haven't yet.
I'm asking player to player, are you going to do something without telling me? Because I recommend you do it now.
Oh, okay.
The
If I can transport the stasis chamber over to our ship, sure, I'll go for it.
It's not like it's a heavily shielded military ship.
Okay.
It's basically a school bus.
Okay. Is that a control roll?
It's not a roll at all. This is a difficulty 0 transport.
Oh, okay. Then I'll transport over the stasis chamber.
Yeah, the stasis chamber is not resisting. There are no shields to overcome.
Okay.
Nobody's maneuvering or anything. It's just a very routine transport of an object you've scanned.
Okay.
You're just stealing something, basically.
I'll put it back if, we don't need it.
Okay, you have just beamed aboard a stasis chamber. And yeah, it's big enough to hold a person.
Can we open it safely?
Looks like a pretty ordinary medical stasis chamber. Yeah, you know how to open these things.
Okay.
You might want to have a doctor on hand if the person inside is wounded, but if they're not wounded, you can just open it.
Okay.
Normally, these things are used for somebody who's on the brink of death.
You may want to turn on the emergency medical thing.
Well,
you don't have an emergency medical thing yet on this ship. If you can install one if you want to. This isn't a Starfleet ship.
Dang it.
I suggest we do that.
Well, let's open it up and see if we need a doctor or not.
Without Dr. Smith, which is not helpful.
Wow. All right. Yeah, I popped the chamber open.
You popped the chamber open.
Oh my God, really?
Inside is Dracoon in his pajamas. How did I get here?
Thank God he was wearing pajamas.
Thank God, yes.
Captain, I suggest you immediately Captain, I suggest you immediately raise shields and charge our weapon systems and tell that Bajoran that they need to report to, docking column, Alpha 3 immediately for mandatory health inspection.
Yeah, I do as he says.
Says, oh, absolutely not. We have children on board on a field trip that we've got to get them back to their parents. Get me late.
You're going to dock and be inspected. Hold on, let's see here. What do I have?
No, you have no authority to do that.
Fire a warning shot past their bow.
Hey, you're not in charge. Hold on.
I'm just suggesting it.
Wait, isn't it the health?
They're opening a communications channel to Bajor.
Yeah,
If you want to tell more specifically than that, you'll have to do some scanning or some comms work here.
Or we could try jamming them.
Well, I guess the question is, why would the Klingon ship leave anything on this other ship? This makes no sense. Let's see here. What do I have that I can use to intimidate them? Like literally nothing, I think.
You're now getting hailed by Bajor.
I take the call from Bajor.
Yeah, this is Bajor traffic control. Why are you detaining our school bus full of children and hungry orphans and people on a field trip? And it's totally irregular for you to delay their trip home.
The ship has been implicated in a species trafficking situation where somebody seems to have been taken against their will and their knowledge aboard the ship. They need to be debriefed.
We're going to contact the ministry. I believe that this is going to have to be left up to Bajoran law. If you want to come to Bajor and file any charges, you can. Odo says, yeah, that's yes. He wouldn't say yeah. Yes, that is probably the correct venue.
Wait. They are in DS9 space.
They're not
DS9.
Yeah.
This is Bajoran space. DS9 is a Bajoran station.
Yeah.
Your Starfleet is guests on the Bajoran station, and Odo will say, yes, this is not, unless you're going to board them and capture them and detain them, I think you're going to have to leave this for Bajoran law.
Why wouldn't we board them and capture them and detain them? They've basically kidnapped someone. They've not only that, they kidnapped the emissary.
They're claiming they have children.
The emissary? Odo says, what?
Not everybody believes that story.
While we're doing that, can I scan the ship and see if there are actual children on board? Also, I'm going to start scanning for any kind of weapons, any kind of hidden technology, any kind of Klingon technology. What's going on with the ship? What are they hiding?
All right. It's not a very high-level role to see. Yeah, there are Bajoran children on board and a few adults.
What's going on? Any signs of Klingons?
There are 17 children and 6 adults. And they're all Bajorans. No weapons, no make some kind of roll. Make a scan roll and somebody roll for the ship.
I got a 3 and a 12. That should be 2 successes.
All right.
Who's rolling for the ship?
I rolled for the ship 8.
8. That's good. Okay, yeah, you definitely can tell there's no weird biogenic weapons or proto matter or any weird shit on this ship. It does appear to be just basically a school bus take children on a field trip to another planet in the Bajor system, and they're on their way home.
I let Bajoran
It
traffic
doesn't even have warp
control.
drive.
I let the Bajoran traffic control let them know that we will be contacting them for debriefing the pilot and crew of the ship. We need some answers if they have any.
You rolled enough successes that you'll notice something else. Yeah, there's no biogenic weapons or weird technology stuff, but you also notice the markings on the ship. This is basically a church bus. And now that you look at it, the person you're talking to who's driving the thing is not, they're not a Vedic, but they are wearing religious robes.
Oh, let me guess who I'm talking to. So I'm sorry, we got off to a bad start. I'm Commander Vita. I apologize for not introducing myself. There was quite a panic going on over here. Who are you?
I am Wota.
Okay, Wota.
Wota. We are on a religious pilgrimage with these children. This is an educational trip exploring our paths, our relationship with the prophets.
I see.
All right.
Well, we apologize for detaining you, and just know that we may need to contact you for more information in the future.
I need some. Darren and Neela, I need you to both make rolls. I'm sorry, Darren and Ella.
Okay.
Both make rolls. Darren, you're going to be insight and something.
Is it like bullshit detection?
No, it's inspiration here. It's having a
Insight. Okay.
Let's say insight and command. Let's have
That
both
works.
make an insight and command roll. 2 dice, no help.
Both of us?
I have 1 success.
2 5s, 2 successes.
Okay. Darren, you're kind of used to seeing this spaceship markings are in Bajoran, and you can like hit the Google Translate button and translate and see what it says, and the button's not working.
Huh?
It's
Does
you
my
can tell it's
ancient
Bajoran, but you can't. The Google Translate thing isn't working, and it suddenly dawns on you that Mani spent a few like a year monitoring the Kai, reading ancient Bajoran, and kind of knows how to read this stuff.
Okay, so I ask her, hey, can you translate this?
Sure. All right, what am I translating?
The name written on the side of this school bus is Temple of the One True Emissary.
All right, it is Temple of the One True Emissary.
I'm not entirely sure what that tells us, but it sounds like we're dealing with some kind of religious faction.
I'd say they're a pretty heavy religious faction.
There are two options here. They either believe that Dracoon is the one true emissary, or they want to get rid of the false emissary.
Then he'd already be dead. So
One is
yeah.
not terribly great options here. So
Yeah. Okay.
Would he already be? I mean, well, I guess.
depends on what they told their Klingon person that they hired to grab him.
Right.
Well, Odo says, as far as I'm concerned, this case is closed. We found our missing person. You've got to take your evidence to the Bajoran court if you want to prosecute these people.
No, we need more information before we go that far.
And
No, I think we need to turn the information over.
we know how the abduction took place, and it sounds like you have some idea of who the perpetrators were.
Well, when Dracoon regains consciousness, we may have
He's
more
conscious
information.
now.
He's
He's totally unaware that he was not in his bed this whole time.
Oh, okay.
Hey, buddy, how you feeling?
Fine, kind of sleepy because I didn't get to sleep yet.
all right. So obviously we have no choice but to let the ship go. I start writing a report for the authorities because that's apparently what we do in Starfleet.
Okay.
Do we know if the Temple of the One True Emissary? Do we know who they actually believe is the one true emissary?
You may need to do some research. You read the words, but you have never heard of them before.
Right, yeah.
Manny, since you can read Ancient Bajoran, I put you in charge of that. When Joel comes back, loop him in. Obviously, as constable, he needs to know what's going on.
All right.
Okay. Well,
and Dracoon, when we get back to the station, you need to check in with Dr. Smith and make sure nothing was done to you while you were gone.
okay. So there's a little, as far as Dracoon's concerned, he was not gone. There was literally no time passed.
Yeah, well, he's still
He laid
gone.
down in
He's
his
not even
bed.
back home yet.
He laid down in his bed, and the next thing he knew, he was in the transporter room, emerging from this tube that Droff was opening. So there's a little conversation between NPCs now. Odo talks to Dracoon. Dracoon assures him that yes, he is staying of his own free will. He sure as heck does not want to return to the Dominion because of what might happen as a Vorta there these days. Odo says, yeah, I don't blame you, but now I can report back to the founders that you haven't been abducted. That was my mission here. Now it's time for me to leave.
He was abducted. We just unabducted him.
Okay.
It only took us 27 hours. And several pretty heavy GM hints.
Yep. We're getting back to the station now. Odo bids you all goodbye.
Not going to stay here.
Thank you for your support, Mr. Odo.
He says, I'm not going to live on Earth. I'll be passing this way again after I've visited Earth and introduced the new ambassador to Luoxana. And with that, Odo gets aboard the Dominion battleship. All the Jem'Hadar and Vorta get back on board. Everybody but those Cardassians that got left off under Dr. Smith's care gets aboard the battleship. And hit the play button. And the Dominion battleship undocks from the station, turns toward Earth, and heads away into the sunset. And that concludes this week's adventure.
And I have been in charge here not even a whole day.
Well, station hasn't blown up yet.
Oh, the doctor's back.
What was that, Dr. Smith?
What an auspicious beginning to your tenure.
Hey, she didn't blow up the station yet. It's all good.
We have to have goals.
Yes, we do.
Okay, we won't play next week because it's Easter. On Saturday, I'll be doing kids' Easter egg hunts, and on Sunday, adult Easter egg hunts. You're all invited to drive robots and hunt for adult Easter eggs throughout my house, assuming I can get those robots up and running again. It's been a few months. You can stop the stream. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have just invited the world to that, right?
Oops. All right, well, then y'all have a great weekend. Peace